Hi, I'm Mike from Michael's Motor Cars, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm very pleased to take you along for what will be a very fun test drive in what I think is a beautiful car. It is summertime here in Lancaster now. It's probably in the high 80s temperature-wise. Please watch the other videos we'll be doing on this car. We'll do a showroom walk-around video where I'll go into more detail about the specific condition of the car and the history that we know about the car. And also we will do a cold start video where you can see the oil pressure and just hear the car starting up from a cold start. I'd like to say from the start, which you'll hear this in the showroom video, I'm heavily biased on this car. I love this freaking car. One of the things about being in the business that I'm in is I see and drive a lot of cars, and occasionally a car comes along that if I could keep it, I would. But practicality comes into play, and my garage is full already. This car is a 56, so that's the same year I was born, so they were born the same year. It's a 104. It's a standard 104. It's not an M. It was restored a number of years ago, so it's an older restoration. It has held up very well. The driving characteristics of the car are just wonderful. The earlier cars have a very different driving feel than the later 3000s, and particularly the longer, heavier 3000s. This car is very agile, very quick, very nimble. Everything is working on the car. The 4-speed transmission shifts quite well. The overdrive works well going in and out. So, and there have been a couple additions to this car. You'll see it has the louvered hood with the leather strap like an M. It has a polished aluminum valve cover, maybe a chrome valve cover. It also has additional electric cooling fan, which I always like to see on these cars. All the British cars, it helps cool them. All the instrumentation is working correctly on the car. I start it up for you. It always starts right up. It's a happy car. Our oil pressure at idle, and we're just below 1,000, is sitting at about 42 pounds. It's right over here. And it's hot right now. I mean, the temperature's hot, close to 90 degrees. Our water temperature is right at 180. The speedometer works, the wipers work, the lights work. You'll see the tachometer's working, and it's nice and smooth. It's working correctly. Turn signals are working properly. Fuel gauge is working correctly. This car, and I knew it was a driven car, and I always like cars that have been used and driven. The previous owner has an additional water temperature gauge located here. It's kind of hidden under the dash, but I personally like that. It's redundant, but you can rely, you have two gauges to look at. And also there is a switch under the dash that I can control the electric cooling fan with. And I like to see those things. To me, it shows that the previous owner drove the car and enjoyed it. So let's go for a ride. I would say the transmission is quieter than most. A lot of times we'll get some lay shaft bearing noise. This one's very quiet. Clutch engagement is nice and smooth. Throttle response is excellent. Goes into second nicely. There's fourth gear. There's overdrive. Goes in and out of overdrive nicely. Go down to third. The overdrive works in third and fourth, which is correct. The transmission is a delight in this car. Goes into second nice and easily. The suspension and everything is just very well set up on this car. Again, the earlier cars are much more nimble than the later, heavier cars. It really likes to be driven. Brakes are nice and smooth. Wonderful Healey sound. But the turn-in is so light, particularly on the 104s. The car is just lovely. And it's stunning. Burgundy color with black in the coves. Very handsome car. When we received the car, we did a full servicing on it. We also put a set of new tires on the car, and we put a completely new exhaust system on it, and it is stainless. So that's all brand new, with all new rubber mounting hardware. So that's all out of the way and taken care of. Also, on the speedometer, the odometer is working correctly. It is turning properly, showing 66,241 miles, which I believe to be correct. And right into second. What a wonderful car. This is one I would keep if I could. But we will find a new home for it. So thanks for coming along on the ride. And please ask us any questions. We'll be happy to answer them. Thanks.